Another day, another dollar. Nancy Pelosi is on talking about Donald Trump's impeachment. Thought this was gonna have some kind of bearing on the stock market, but it don't. Looks like he's gonna get impeached for the second time today. Hope everybody's having a good Wednesday. As normal, we'll give it a couple minutes. But if you do give a shit about this whole impeachment shit, maybe if you want to tap in, Nancy Pelosi is speaking live about it. I'm just checking to see if anything she's saying has any bearing on the stocks, but it don't look like it. Don't look like they. Nobody gives a fuck. Being that he's getting out of the office in a week, either way. For those who don't know, the impeachment's not so much about him getting kicked out now. It's about making sure that he can't go for re-election in 2024, and it also means that he doesn't get any of the presidential pensions. So he doesn't get that $250,000 that you receive every year for the rest of your life. Briefings to CIA reports. Lifetime security, those things would be taken away if he's impeached. So that's really the biggest thing is just the fact that he can't get reelected. Because I do think that if he doesn't get impeached, he's going to get reelected in 2024. I can't unless they really build up Kamala Harris. I just can't see anybody that could beat Trump as a Democrat. And I'm just being honest. But that's neither here nor there. We'll give it a couple more minutes and then we'll get into the stocks. Actually, we'll just give it one more minute. As always, I appreciate y'all for popping up. Like y'all know, if you've been on here before, I do not do this for me. Fuck was that on my nose? I do not do this for me. I do this for y'all. If y'all want to contribute in any type of way, feel free to go to the nonprofit bbtcfoundation.com. Next thing that we're doing is actually raising funds for the next round of scholarships. Um, we did it last year for the essay for Black History. We're going to do that again, where we're going to give scholarships out to elementary, middle school, and high school kids. I'm not sure how much. Last time we did 1,000 or 500 per kid. Next time we would probably do 1,000 per kid. So if you want to donate, go towards that. Past that, I don't really need nothing from y'all, but I do appreciate the support. So man, let's get into it. So, first and foremost, I kind of want to go back on the stocks that we talked about yesterday. I spoke briefly about Intel and I also spoke briefly about Micron. I do want to kind of go into more details as to why I was suggesting those particular stocks because, as y'all know, I'm not just giving this information out of my ass. Like I'm getting it from based on what I learned. Uh, yeah, no doubt. So, how this actually works is so let's go through Intel first. One of the reasons why Intel stocks is so promising going into the future is the fact that they actually didn't have a bad 2020. Obviously, with people being at the crib and not being in a situation where they could be out and about, they need processors for computers because people are at the crib. People are working from home, and those processors most times are getting made by companies like Intel. So next week, they are projected to do their financial showing for the fourth quarter. And most times, anytime that does happen, if it's a positive or even not too negative, that means that the stocks will go up because investors are aware of the fact that last year was a pandemic. So, but they said, according to Intel, that their fourth quarter was really, really good. So one of the reasons why I suggest getting into Intel now is between now and the time that they actually do their financials that they're going to be releasing to the public next week, that stock could shoot up and it could go up even higher then. So, and at the end of the day, you guys got to be realistic. This vaccine shit ain't going nowhere. I mean, people gonna still be sick for a while. Like they said that it's only predicted that 100 million people will have the vaccine by the end of the summer. So it's 400 million motherfuckers out here. So a lot of more people gonna die and a lot of more people gonna have to be working from the crib. So because of that, computers will still be needed. And being that Intel is one of the top processing companies in terms of those chips that actually make computers work, it's just hard to see that they're gonna fall off. So that's one of the reasons. It's just whenever they get to showing financials, it normally means in this instance that the stock will probably go up. So, and as you can see, since I spoke about this shit yesterday, the stock already went up 9%. So Once again, I'm not just saying this for just to say it. There is trends and there are reasons for why a stock like that would benefit. Now, the other stock, Micron, and that's Micron. I think the abbreviation on the stock market is MU, I believe. They are predicted to hit $200 per share by the end of this year. Currently, it's at like 78, $79, well, like 79 and some change. So I would definitely recommend tapping in with that because anytime you can invest on something that could potentially hit, pardon me, that could potentially triple up within a year. Unless you're in a dope game, there ain't too many things that's going to allow you to triple up in 1 year. So I would definitely tap in with that as well. That's definitely a stock. And if you go to like Robinhood, a lot of times they'll show like what the ratings are to the percentages that you should buy. Both of those stocks have really, really high buy percentages right now. So, like I said, I'm not telling you to buy it. I'm just telling you to do your research on it. Now, one of my great, great friends, Christy, love you, Christy. She actually tapped in with me and was asking me about Apple and if they're I spoke about Apple, and obviously, if you don't have Apple stocks, you should definitely get Apple stocks. It's one of those stocks that just absolutely can't lose. It won't be big shots like Tesla in terms of how big it goes up, but it is a consistent growth. For those who didn't tap into my Fetti Talk a couple weeks ago when we spoke about Apple, one thing that I told y'all is that Apple is in the process of building its first vehicle, the iCar. It will be available in 2024, and she had a question in terms of the fact that they were possibly partnering up with a company, who manufactures a lot of vehicles. Because I mean, let's be honest, they're $1 trillion company. They don't have to make this shit themselves. They can just partner with different manufacturers to provide different things like batteries. The actual manufacturing of the vehicles. One vehicle. I mean, they actually are possibly in the process with partnering up. And one other thing before I get into that, shout out to Apple. If you live in the city, hometown Detroit, they're actually putting $100 million into a developmental school in Detroit. So shout out to Apple. That shit is super fucking fire. But this stock that I'm referring to that they're possibly partnering up with is a company called Canoe. Canoo. I think that's right. Canoe. Yeah, so they're potentially going to be bought out by Apple. This would be the starting point in Apple working on that iCar because they actually manufacture vehicles. Because of because of the possibility of that partnership, that stock has went up 13% today. So those things normally mean something. So if that did, so that is another stock that I would just look into. I'm not going to tell you to buy this stock. I'm just going to tell you to do your research. Once again, the name of the stock is Canoe. And if they partner with Apple, expect that stock to double up. Like just expect it to double up. But as I said, so far today, it's up 13, almost 14%. So, Christy, if you are watching, just make sure you know it actually does have a positive effect on the market. The fact that they are partnering with that manufacturing company. And once again, I always say this, but make sure you guys get some Apple stocks. Um, it really is $28,000 per share, but because of the amount of splits that they're doing, that's the only reason why that stock is so cheap. So don't think that because it's been lingering around 120 to 130 that don't mean shit. They've actually positioned themselves to be the main company to be ready for 5G. So once 5G is popping, Apple's going to be the first one in line to really pop off. So I would definitely look into Apple. So I think there was a couple other things. Oh, you know what? There was something else that I wanted to talk to y'all about. Now, I don't know how many kids that you guys have that are maybe in high school or maybe in the process of going to college or maybe in college. I meant to speak about this a couple of days ago, and this really has nothing to do with stocks, but this is important some of y'all know. If you have kids who are not getting a full ride, or even if they are getting full ride, it don't really even matter. I know a lot of times we're looking for scholarships and ways to actually get grants and make sure that you're actually getting this school paid for you. Because if you just paying out of pocket, you're part of the hustle that they have on you. So, there is a platform that I want to make sure you guys are aware of. And like I said, I may not even have anybody in here that has kids, but this applies really to anything. There's a website called the Foundation Center. Now, the Foundation Center is a website that has links to human beings, companies, organizations that provide both grants and scholarships to both businesses, students, and nonprofit organizations, startup companies, whatever. And these are people who have a lot of money who maybe don't want people finding them because they just want to give and they don't want to be hawked down for bread. Maybe they don't have a website. So they trust this platform, the Foundation Center, to be the place that people can are inquiring about grants for businesses or scholarships. This doesn't just apply to scholarships, grants. Maybe just because you are African American man starting a business. This platform has millions of scholarships, millions of grants that are just out there available. And literally, it gives details on who the investors are, where they normally invest at, what they normally invest in. So if it applies to what you guys do, then you can actually reach out to these folks directly through this platform and actually get these grants and get these scholarships. Now, the reason why I'm even talking about this is because this website, normally, if you look it up, I believe it's like $200 a month to be a part of it. And that's a lot of fucking money just for a website. You know what I'm saying? But the reason why it costs so much is because it provides this access of all this fucking money that anybody can be a part of. Now, I have found a way where you can actually get a part of this website without having to break that $200 a month. So every major city, if it's either the capital of the state or a major city. Like for instance, like a Detroit, even though it's not the capital, like where I'm from, Lansing, Michigan is the capital of Michigan. But Detroit used to be the capital and is obviously the biggest city in Michigan. So whether it's a major city or if it's a capital city, every single one of these cities has at least one library that provides the Foundation Center website for free. It's important to know this because you can literally go to whatever major library in your city, if it's a major city, and they will provide you access to the Foundation Center for free. Now, I tell you this because you can literally go to the library, they'll log you in yourself, and you have access to this Foundation Center where it's literally so many scholarships and so many grants and so many money opportunities that you won't even have time to fill out every single one. I went there for my nonprofit last year, and I literally was in front of that computer for like 3 hours, and I didn't even touch 2% of the amount of opportunities that were available to me. Like you would literally have to be there, all day to get access to this. So if you are in a capital city, the capital city of the state or a major city, start calling around to the biggest libraries in your city. They more than likely have access to it. If you live in Phoenix, the one downtown off of Roosevelt, the main library, they have access to it. I've been there. Like I've been in there, I've utilized it. So this is something that they are never going to teach you. They want you to spend the $200 a month, and even if you spend the $200 a month, it is worth it. And Google this shit. I don't really have to say much. Like you can Google this shit to see what it's all about. But if you want to kind of get around that 200 and get straight into it, this is huge, man. I'm not sure if they. I'm positive they have it in Detroit. I know they have it in Lansing for sure because every single state's capital city has it. Every single state's capital city has it, no matter what. So Phoenix has it. But whatever the biggest library, if you're in a major city, just call them. And most times they do. Most times they don't even know about it. Like most times they don't even know about it. But by law, it's available in every capital city for free. So I just wanted to kind of throw that out there. It's free money, man. This is the type of shit that white people they pay $200 to get this type of shit. Like there's people in China who have $1 billion budget every single year specifically for giving out grants or giving out scholarships or giving out opportunities to get money for people who are starting businesses or already run businesses or have kids that are getting straight A's. It's just money laying out there. Like, and it's just important that you guys take advantage of this shit because they ain't gonna never teach you niggas this shit. This is gonna be the only time you hear about getting the opportunity to have a website access to you to where you can literally tap into scholarships that aren't available on Google. You're not gonna find them. So do with that information what you will. Um, lastly, I think there was one other thing I wanted to talk about. Um, actually, no, I think that might be it. Think that might be it. Oh, one other thing. I spoke about Simon Property Group a couple. I seen Simon Property Group. I spoke about this maybe like 5 or 6 months ago. That stock is currently at like $86 a share right now. when I told y'all niggas about it, it was at like $50 a share. It's at $88 a share now, so almost at a double up. I'm just here to tell y'all that you guys still want to might consider looking into that, just due to the fact that it is potentially supposed to double up again. Like it's projected to get up to upwards to about 160, 170. Just as a reminder, not only do they own pretty much every single outlet mall in the country. Like they own more than any other company, which in this day and age, that's going to be the wave over malls because it gives people access to go to stores outside. And in a COVID situation, it gives more people peace of mind. If you've been to an outlet as of late, it's probably been packed. Probably not only because of the holidays, but just be due to the fact that if people want to shop and they can do it outside, they'd rather do that than go into a mall just because of the air. You know what I'm saying? So Simon Property Group, you can look these guys up. They own more malls than any other, like outlet malls than any other company in the world, period. I think they also own the Cleveland Browns too. You know what I'm saying? But they get a lot of fucking money a lot of different ways. Go to the website. You can get some insight on how much they actually own. But like I said, they've almost doubled up since I bought it. But I'm here to tell you that if you haven't got on it yet, it still has potential to hit at least upwards to like a buck 50, buck 60 by the end of this year. So I just wanted to kind of throw that out there. Um, so I'm pretty much done. Once again, I appreciate everybody who tapped in. Before I get up out of here, I'm gonna give y'all like 2 minutes to ask me questions because people always email me questions afterwards. I'd rather just do it here. I'll be a busy ass nigga, and I want to make sure that I can do what I do. Because if I can't do what I do, then I ain't gonna have time to do this shit no way. So if you got a couple questions, shoot in right now. Once again, I appreciate everybody. Have you spoken on Ethereum stock before? If I missed it, what's your thoughts on it? So I did speak on Ethereum, not last episode, but I believe the episode before that, in terms of stocks outside of the stocks outside of crypto, Bitcoin, because we all know about Bitcoin. We all know that Bitcoin does have the potential of hitting upwards to about 100,000 just this year alone. So if you crop tripled up last year, you're probably going to double or triple up again this year. But I did speak to Ethereum. That's actually, I have money in that stock as well. It's probably the second strongest stock out of all the stocks. So I definitely recommend getting into that, as well as Litecoin, as well as Dogecoin. A lot of people don't know about Dogecoin, but somebody just, what do you think about Dogecoin? But as well as Dogecoin, because Dogecoin, it started off as a fluke stock, but right now it's like a little under a penny, and it is projected to hit upwards to $1, which is 100 times return on investment. So whatever you invest into it, you can receive 100 times return. So there was a time where Bitcoin started off at a penny. So I mean, it's only a fucking penny. So take $50 and get $50 worth of a penny stock. You know what I'm saying? If it turns into 100 times return, you're gonna win either way. So I would definitely recommend getting into that, getting into Litecoin, and as well as Ethereum. Another good crypto is IOTA. A lot of people not familiar with IOTA, but that's a stock, that's a crypto that is promised to boom pretty soon too. Got a projection for MU by the end of the year. I said this earlier, but the MU stock is projected to do about 200, and this was based off a news article that I just read today. It looks like it's going to realistically get from seven. It's about $79 now. It's projected to get upwards to $200 by the end of this year. So it is a probability of a triple up. So good question though. Seen an article saying something about Bitcoin being dead. What do you think about this? Most times, people who say that are heavily invested in the stock market. Anybody in their right mind knows that Bitcoin isn't going anywhere. Like I said before, there was an NFL offensive lineman who just got a big contract, and half of his contract he wanted in Bitcoin, and they actually agreed to it. Over 156 countries in the world are utilizing Bitcoin at this point in time. It's too late for it to die. It's just too late. If that dies, that means gold dies, and gold ain't going nowhere. And that's also a good thing to invest into right now. All right. Nothing to do with stocks, but business wise, I'm gonna run into you one day, and we're gonna, yeah, for sure, yeah. I'm open to collab, all good. So yeah, man. Do you think NIU is a good stock to invest in? Man, you late. It still is a good stock to invest into because they're trying to place themselves to be competitors with Tesla. Um, they're actually just releasing a new prototype vehicle here in a couple days. But man, you late to that party, fam. Shit, I talked about NIO stock, man, fucking 6 months ago, bro, when that shit was like $5 a pop. Man, that shit damn near 10 times return. So, yeah, man, still it should still be a good stock to get into. Um, just something to kind of think about. Have you seen Power stock? No, I don't know what that is. I'll look at it though. I'll check it out. So no, but it's all good. And if that's you, Jordan, yeah, shout out to you. So don't worry about it though. But you can still get into it. It still has some upside potential. Um, like I said, they're positioning themselves to be competitors with Tesla. I don't know how that's going to play out for them because they haven't actually released any vehicles. At this point, it's just about showcasing prototypes. But yeah, at the end of the day, man, do your research on it. I think there is still upside potential. I personally sold my stocks on that a while ago, um, but I might get back in. Um, I 10 times return my return on it, so it made sense for me to do it because there was other stocks that have more promise. But there should be more earning potential into it. But I would just say do your research on it. It tells the tale, but just know they haven't released any actual vehicles yet. It's all prototype shit. And they're like Apple, where they're outsourcing everything in terms of manufacturing. They don't have the money that Apple has though, so I just don't know how that's going to play out. But once again, do your research; you'll be fine. But yeah, what do you think about DigiByte? I don't think about it at all. I don't know anything about it, so I try to stick away from shit that I don't know about. I'll do my research on it and maybe speak on it tomorrow. But quite honestly, I have no idea. Do you trust Chinese companies when it comes to stocks? There's some good Chinese stocks. I haven't invested in any of them, but I see good ones all the time. You're not going to get all the research on it though, because China has this thing where they censor their own shit. You know what I'm saying? So you're always going to kind of be in the dark. But I mean, their economy better than ours. Shit. So who know? I mean, hey, I don't know. Look them up. So thoughts on Baba? Are we talking about Alibaba? Because if you are, then you already missed out on the wave. But it's like Amazon. It's not going anywhere. It's like Amazon. It's e-commerce. E-commerce is the way of the future. So if you're talking about Alibaba, then yeah, invest into it. It's e-commerce. E-commerce is gonna be the reason why malls close eventually. Outlet malls will never go anywhere, but actual malls themselves, e-commerce is going to be the reason for that. That's what got Jeff Bezos rich. It wasn't because he was selling fucking books. It was e-commerce. So Alibaba is another version of that. So it's not going anywhere. So if that's what you're referring to, yeah, that's what you tap into. I would definitely tap into that. What about Moderna? Um, Spoke about Moderna a while ago. I would say out of the vaccines currently, it might be the one with the most earning potential. But the way that they're distributing shit is taking so long for it to go out. If you invest into it now, you could possibly make something of it. But if we being real, if you put in that stock is like $110, and if you're gonna put that kind of money into something, put it in an Apple. You know what I'm saying? At least with that way, you know you're not gonna lose. Um, Favorite weed stocks. I can't remember the ones that I thought about. There was ones that I spoke about before. Off the top of my head, I just don't remember. Just do your research on it. It's available. So yeah, man. That's pretty much it, man. I appreciate all the questions. I appreciate y'all tapping in. We're gonna do this again tomorrow as long as I ain't got shit to do. But once again, if you guys want to contribute, because I'm not asking for nothing from y'all niggas, just donate towards the nonprofit. I do want to shout out DNA Tooth because even though he a tough motherfucker, he did actually contribute to the nonprofit. So shout out to the Tooth. Uh, just spare my niggas. That's all. But yeah, once again, man, make sure y'all subscribe to the channel, man. I fuck with y'all, except the ones I don't fuck with. Fuck y'all. Later.